today at the shop at Navira Auto we have a Toyota HiLux 2020 model that's pretty much done up from head to toe except for the multimedia display. We're going to be installing and showing you guys how to fit our 10-inch touchscreen unit with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto into this HiLux. Okay, so the first step is we're going to drop this steering wheel. Then we're going to tackle these two screws. So you're going to need a Phillips head on the ratchet like this, and we're just going to go in like this and loosen them up. So once we loosen up these Phillips head a couple of times, they won't actually fall out. You need to use a trim tool to pop them out. So get your trim tool and wedge it in between the Phillips head and the bracket thing, and you can just start prying on it. And you can see that it actually comes out like this. Do the same with the other side. So once you got those two screws out, you're going to get your trim tool and you want to wedge it in between the dashboard and the cluster, and you want to just basically make your way all the way across. You pop out all the brackets, and then you can see that once you start pulling, the entire dashboard frame will pop out like this. That just gives us access to then remove this, which we can do by just pulling on it and making your way all the way across, obviously gently making your way all the way to the end without breaking or snapping any clips. Then you can put this somewhere safe. So now you want to come over to the passenger side and open up both the glove boxes. So get your trim tool, wedge it in between here and pry. You can see that you've got the dashboard opening up a little bit, and you can just leave it like that for now. That should be okay. So now we are free to remove this glove box. So just grab here and you can pry on it with your hands until the whole glove box is removed, and you can put that somewhere safely now. Okay, so now we have access to remove the 4 bolts holding in the original dashboard in place. So what we're going to do is get our 10mm head, and we're just going to go in there. The screws are pretty deep, so be careful not to drop them. And then the other 2 we can remove as well. You can just use your hands to pry up. The tabs are pretty tough, so give it a bit of force and it should pop out. And undo the connection here behind the passenger airbag plug, because that's the short tight connection. So once that's removed, you can pull it out. So pretty much once the head unit's out, we're just going to be disconnecting every single connection. So we started off with this one holding the passenger airbag in, and now we're going to do all the harnesses on the back of the head unit. So we already removed some of them, but they're very simple. Just pry on the tab with your nail and pull. So now we've got both units side by side on the table. We're going to be transferring the components, which consist of these tabs, these yellow tabs, and also the passenger airbag light. So they're very simple. Just grab 2 little pry tools like this, and just watch your eyes because they will start shooting up. So that's one, and we'll put that in the exact same spot on the other side. So this tab here, and we're going to be putting it and installing it on this tab here. So now all the clips are transferred over to the new unit frame. So now we can work on removing and installing this on the new frame. So grab 2 flat heads or something like that, wedge them in on both sides, and that should loosen it up. And then there you go, that's the passenger airbag. So now we want to get back into the car, and we want to get our harness that was included in the kit ready, and we can start plugging in everything. So before moving the screen to the car, let's just plug in all the harnesses and plug in the screen after at the end. So we're going to start with this grey plug, which will plug straight into here. So you just need to line it up and it will clip into place. That's done. The next thing we're going to run is the customer wants these USB cables, which were included in the kit. We might run them down to the passenger seating area here, so you can use them as additional USB chargers, or you can connect the dash cam or something like that. So yeah, so these white ends will connect to the back of the new head unit, and the black ends are the USB ports obviously, so you can put them wherever you want. So next we're going to run the 4G antenna. So this will connect the unit to nearby networks and Wi-Fi and your hotspot and stuff. So we're going to just peel off the tape, and we're going to stick it right back deep in there where there's black plastic, and we'll just go down in here, and right on this back wall underneath this AC pipe, we'll paste it right there. So now we've got the 4G antenna and the USB cables in, as well as this. So now we're just going to plug in the main power harness. So we're going to line up all the plugs with the original plugs here, and everything should clip into place. And then the black end will go into the back of our unit, and then we can clip our unit back in. But there's one thing that we should mention is with this model HiLux, there's 2 plugs which are identical, and we only have 1 plug on our harness which suits it. So the reason for this is, so only one of them is going to work in terms of showing the reverse camera, music and all that stuff. So once you connect the unit and you test it and the reverse camera isn't working, then we're going to move it from this one, for example, to this one, and then we'll test it again. Okay, so for now, let's just plug it in. We're going to test it with this brown one here. So just going to line it up like so. Next is we're going to connect this one, which is this green cable here. So line up the antenna and click. That should click into place. Next is the black one, so we'll find the black connection, which is over here. We'll line it up and we'll clip that into place. Next is this white connector here, which would connect to either one of these ones. Let's just confirm. Yep, this one here. And that's pretty much it. Everything else doesn't need a connection. What we're going to do as well is we're going to connect this cable, which is included in the kit. This is our reverse camera cable, so just plug that into there. Should line up. Maybe we'll put some tape around that, and then this will also go into the back of the unit. Now we've got the unit in the car, and we're just going to plug in everything that we mentioned. So we'll start with this grey connector here, since it's the longest, and we'll find a 4-pin connector on the back of the unit, and we'll line it up and clip it into place. Next we'll do the 4G antenna, which will go into obviously the 4G spot here, and that will widen up. Now we're going to connect the reverse camera wire, which is this one here with the 2 dead blue ends. That's I believe a 10-pin harness, which would go into the far left spot here. Next we've got the antenna, which goes straight into here. We've got a 8-pin connector, which looks like it would go into this position here. Next is the main power harness. Where is it here? This black one here. We're going to be putting the unit back in. This unit is just clipping rather than screws. So just plug in the passenger airbag light if your car has if your car's a dual cab. Okay, and then you can simply line up all the tabs with the top, with the bottom. Just do your best to line it up before pushing. Okay, and then once your tabs are lined up, just give it a push, and that's it. So now we're just turning on the ignition, and we're going to see if the unit powers up, and which it does, and you can see that everything's all working. Okay, so now we're just going to put everything back together. So obviously we'll start with the glove box. That was the last thing we took out. Next is this. So we'll remove this out the way, and then we're going to be putting this trim piece in. So just line that up. Go, and it should clip in. Same with the other one. So we're just going to be showing you how to connect the system to Bluetooth. Now everything's back together, we can start playing around with the system. So we're just going to Bluetooth here on the app, on the system, and then on our iPhone Bluetooth, just go at the bottom. You see car kit link, we press that. Wait for it to connect. It says here pair success. On our phone we'll just connect to it. And now it shows as connected, pair success. So let's go to the home, let's go to apps here, and let's go to the 3rd page. We see T-Link 5, we press that. It says connecting, please wait. And then on our phone you see use CarPlay, we'll press use CarPlay. Give it a few seconds, and there you go. So now CarPlay is set up. We can go to settings and we can make the wallpaper all nice. Okay, and yeah, so now we've got fully wireless CarPlay working. Let's test out and see if the music's all working. So we'll go back to T-Link 5, which is our CarPlay, and let's just press play. We can make phone calls, we can set navigation. We'll see if Siri works as well. So I'll say, hey Siri, and that works as well. So I can say to make a phone call or something, but don't worry about that. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. The system's all working good. We've got the original radio still going, so if you want to listen to the FM and AM, that will work. So once you connect the system to network, so Wi-Fi hotspot with that 4G antenna. You can download like probably like 200-300 different styles of themes, whatever looks best for your car. This one's just the standard one we have for Blue Clouds City, but it's clean and nice.